Alright, recording for real this time. Nice.
For posterity, just so everyone knows, when I edit the episode, we have been trying to get Quill's audio to work for the better part of an hour.
I had to go through Terminal.
Quill had to go through Terminal. I don't even know how to spell Terminal.
It's the weird Mac app that's like lets you just start entering in like code and commands and shit. That's like,
It's
what
like
the
an
fuck?
application. Yeah, I know that Terminal is just like the computer word for how to access source code.
Yeah.
Or not source code, but like the code of the thing.
Also, oh right, we should do the intro this time.
Wait, what intro? Oh, yeah. Well, it was because, okay, so last time what happened was this, like, was because I did the intro, like, the Homestuck baby, and that, like, led directly into us, like, not being fair. Anyway, you're totally right. Sburban Explorers. Hi. Welcome to the show. Yep. Can we take that again? I would love a do-over.
Yeah.
Sburban Explorers, everybody. The show where Jenna knows what she's doing. I don't, by the way.
That seems to be a running theme of my life.
Life known what I'm doing. But anyway, Homestuck. Homestuck was short this week.
Yeah.
I don't know of any, like, news that's happened. I know Homestuck 2 has updated a couple times. Vriska Pester Quest came out.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Vriska and Gansey Pester Quest came out. Yeah.
Okay.
I know this because all the trans girls in my Discord have changed their icon to Vriskas. So.
Okay.
That just lets you know. Look, Quill, trans lesbians are basically Vriska.
Okay.
Not me, because I'm Kanaya, but have you
Yeah.
ever met a trans lesbian who isn't a Vriska? Think about it.
I don't know how many trans lesbians I've met.
It's me, and I'm not a Vriska, I'm a Kanaya. Which basically means that I'm a Vriska. I mean, you've got to be thinking on layers, Quill.
Oh god, please no.
No, you don't like layered thinking? You don't like to think about 7 different things at once?
Not particularly. I can't even think about one thing at once.
Name one thing, ever.
Ugh.
How is Homestuck? So, this week's Homestuck opens on Rose, like, post strife. Like, mom just goes back to cleaning.
Yep.
And,
Which
by
is
the way,
like...
wait, no, stop, go back. I didn't do the thing that you said. Hello, everybody. My name is Jenna Lacombe. Quilbert,
Hi,
would you
I'm
like to...
Quill.
Welcome to Sburban Explorers, our podcast where we forget to do basic things. This time we covered from the Rose on the map, from the Rose Strife up through the spahj.
Sweet Rowan Helijeff, just say it out.
No, because I hate to say it. The spahj panel of the map. So that is pages 388 to 459. We had a really light load this week. Like,
yeah. Thank God, I have so much. My week's been terrible.
Your week's been bad. I hear midterm, huh?
Yeah, and more midterms Monday, so.
Did I tell you I did super good on my midterm without any studying, like a good smart person?
Fuck you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's where we're at so far. So, like I said, This week opened on like post strife, where mom just like goes back to cleaning and Rose pets the pony, and her name is Maplehoof.
Maplehoof is the best.
Maplehoof is a good name. And I just love like some of Rose's sprites. She just looks so full of spite, like all of the time.
That is a mood.
I love the way Rose emotes. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Something about the curve of the eyebrow.
Oh yeah. Also, Rose makeup on point.
Indeed.
Is Rose goth to spite Mom Lalonde?
Huh. I mean, she's definitely goth, but I don't know if it's to spite Mom Lalonde is pretty into pink.
Mom Lalonde is very into pink and wizards.
Yes. Huh.
Food for thought.
Indeed.
Food for thought, fan fiction writers. We should talk about fan fiction at the end of this episode, because I've barely touched the surface of fan fiction because I am already very busy. But when I was younger, I read a lot of fan fiction. I didn't read a lot of fan fiction. I read some fan fiction.
Yeah, sure. Backpedaling real fast on that one.
Well, no, like, I legitimately didn't read a lot of fan fiction because I read a lot of manga as a child. And, yeah. And I read a lot of, I don't know why, but I read a lot of lesbian manga. Almost like I was like, wouldn't it be so cool to cut men out of the equation?
I mean,
on something.
I was always reading fan fiction and books, but like fan fiction is the payoff between books and fan fiction is like books are usually like slightly higher quality as far as like grammar, plot. As far as plot and character interaction, it's actually a real toss up. But like,
yeah.
The thing with fan fiction is that although it's like pretty good and free, most importantly, it's also like you gotta trudge through like so much trash in order to find actually good stuff.
Oh yeah, and like that trash pile goes pretty deep.
Yep.
And it's less consistent because no one's getting paid to do it. Yeah. The thing to me that always...
Yeah. Where were we before this fanfiction pain? Oh no, Jenna, you still here? Ah, shit. Well, listeners.
Hi. For the audience at home wondering what the hell just happened, I have an alarm set to remind me to take my pills at 9 o'clock. I have an alarm set for me to remind me to take my pills at 9 o'clock. And it went off right before we started started getting on the call earlier, and I was so confident that there was no reason for me to turn it off, that it wouldn't impact the show in any way. And here we are. That's a lesson, people. Hubris is a hell of a thing.
Quite so.
But okay, so the thing with me about fanfiction is this, I always felt like I don't know how to explain it. If it's not canon, I always feel this sting in the back of my mind of just yeah, but this doesn't mean anything.
Ironic that you bring it up in relation to Homestuck, the only work that really messes with that line.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot of when I was still in the process of reading and / watching Homestuck and trudging through early Homestuck was just gnawing feeling in the back of my head that this there isn't, I'm never going to get payoff from reading a good fan fiction in the way that I'm going to get payoff from reading a new book. Because it is non-canon, non-expanded upon reading of a character that already exists, that has a canonical interpretation of personality.
I mean, for me, I was always because really, when you get down to the bare bones of it, like the only thing published works have over fanfiction is that they're published, that they are canon, and like that's a very bizarre thing, you know?
Very void.
Like, what does that
player,
even mean? Because like a lot of fanfiction is like objectively a better story than canon, but like why does it like matter less, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, in my interpretation, it was just that I wouldn't be able to talk to people about it.
Mm. Well, then you have, like, fan fictions that are super popular and, like, spawn their own fanfics, and it's like, where do you go from there?
I mean, at that point, you're just in Homestuck. At that point,
that's true.
We've done a full circle.
Yeah, we're back to Homestuck. I don't think we ever left, actually.
Homestuck is so weird because, like, there's a portion of fandom that just, like, is no longer engaged with the work.
Mm-hmm.
That there's, like, a huge swath of people who read Homestuck who have, like, decided to not engage, like, purposefully with the work anymore.
Which is, quite frankly, valid.
Yeah. Like, some people had very bad... Not bad... Like, some people had a bad time when they read Homestuck. Like...
Yeah.
I know for a couple people who I used to know that, like, when they read Homestuck also correlated with, like, severe depression.
Oof.
Like, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into other people's personal lives, but, like, you know, it's fair. Like,
yeah.
A lot of people read Homestuck at a very impressionable.
Why is that anyway?
Because you have more free time to read something that is 8,000 panels long.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's like all the stories I read when I'm in shitty places are like the only thing that's like keeping me afloat. So I think of them with like fondness rather than associating them with bad things.
I mean, for me, it was a lot of video games that I would play, and so like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of... I'm a very positive person, so there's not a lot of shit that happened to me that I'm like, this was a dark time in my life. That were like, I remember when shitty things were happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I also remember being really cool and getting over it.
You know? Hey, like I say, you're the most emotionally stable person I know.
I'm the most emotionally stable person in the world. I mean, do you know any motherfucker more emotionally stable? Here's the thing.
Honestly, no.
Sometimes I'm just very good at acting. It's almost like I took drama for 5 years. And continue to be very good at acting and public speaking. We can delve into my psyche at a later date. Let's get back to Homestuck.
Yeah.
Rose is very full of spite. John gets into like this is a reference that's like very obscure that I didn't realize until like quite recently. When John starts to fight the imp, it does like the pixelated fade in, and that's like a Final Fantasy thing. Like that's like
I think I have seen that as a reference. Mm-hmm. Like I've never played Final Fantasy, but now that you mention it,
oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm sorry about the children that are in the next room. If they show up on the audio for the audience.
I apologize if any drunk college students show up on the audio.
We're basically both dealing with children. John gets into this random encounter with an imp.
I do love the...
Mm-hmm. Oh, go ahead.
I do love how, like, during that segment, they're, like, cutting back and forth between those two every other panel.
I have a note in a couple minutes, but, like, just further down that's, like, I love, because it's also game-based, it's, like, you shift in and out of modes of, like, passive reading and active participation. It's a thing that I don't think gets repeated a lot throughout the rest of Homestuck. I mean, you could argue Mina's, I think that section is called Open Bound, right?
Oh, is it? Huh. I thought so. It was... In my memory, it's Alternia Bound, but it's entirely possible I'm completely wrong.
Nope. It's called Open Bound. Because if I Google Open Bound, it goes directly to that page.
Oh. Neat.
Neat. So yeah, and so like it's this really good flow of active reading, passive like participation in reading, and active participation in that you're playing a little game. So we cut from John getting into this random encounter back to Rose, and Rose has her generator blow out, or we see Rose's generator, which is blown out. And then Rose, like, takes her umbrella. I had a note. It took me a second there. I had a note that said, Rose just ruins her whole situation. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean, Jenna? She takes her umbrella out, which is the root of her tree modus. And then all of the other things fall out.
Which I still don't know what data structure that's based on, but okay.
Root? That's what it's called.
I don't know shit about data structures. I'm John in this scenario.
You need the book. You need the book Data Structures for Assholes.
I do.
That book, by the way, came right before John got into the random encounter. I was considering reading it out loud, doing like a shitty, like, Data Structures for Assholes. But it's just kind of abhorrent. Not abhorrent. It's not like offensive. It's just like, wow, this is bad. This is what the internet is already like, man. Jeez. I don't need the internet in my Homestuck. Rose ruins her whole situations. I think we cut back to John and do a little fighting. Rose makes the dangerous trek to the mausoleum. And then we cut back to John, and John puts the bunny back in the box after defeating the imp.
Which I assume is a reference to the movie I've never seen.
Yeah, I have also never seen it, but I just sort of always assumed that that was a thing that happens in that movie.
Yeah. Honestly, I would... What if it isn't? I would not know.
What if Hussey has been running the longest con?
I would be so bamboozled.
Dude. What if Hussey has been, like, waiting for that to pay off, but because no one has ever seen Con Air, he's just like, they're gonna have to know that the bunny thing wasn't even in that movie eventually.
I mean... He does misquote things all the time. It's entirely possible.
God.
Shit, do I have to watch Con Air now?
We might have to... For this, if we do the spahj episode, we'll also watch Con Air. Like, as a... I guess Rabbit is dead, so not on Rabbit, but we'll, like, live stream Con Air. Can I make this claim? Can we do this?
I don't... Oh, God.
Potentially will live stream Con Air
to find out if there even is a bunny and a box.
To find out, because who knows. We see the Esha ladder because John levels up after defeating an imp. John levels up twice, which is weird to me. Like, as a person who plays video games, the idea that John levels up twice on, like, a 20 level up system from defeating a single imp is wild. Like,
I mean, from, like, a person who plays tabletop games, though, like, I can totally see, like, you roll super shitty for the whole session and you level up twice.
Yeah, but that's not what happened. I guess. But, like, I wouldn't let you level up twice at that point. I'd be like, well, you're gonna have...
Think about it. Like, if I'm, like, entering the medium and, like, think of all the weird shenaniganry that John's been up to, all the Sylladex fuckery, all of the, like, the toilets, mislocated.
But, on the other hand, it's not that sort of system, because we see that the leveling up is a result of defeating the imp. Not, it is not ancillary to the imp defeating.
That's true. Anyways, love that we're doing a deep dive into this level up system.
Well, because it's silly. I wanted to figure out what the yellow cap meant. He has a yellow feather, and we just skip right over the yellow fucking feather. It was also like a trans joke. I was able to spin it into a trans joke in my head. Hold on, let me find it.
Uh-huh.
I'll find it. I know how to make jokes. I know what a comedy is. Let me just find this page fast. Wow, the internet's not cooperating today.
Oh, mood.
Here's a question, by the way. Is this cutting in between? Or no, because do we see, Wayward Vagabond getting access to the other children, to, like, seeing them?
I don't think so, not yet.
Okay, but that's like a thing that happens. Okay. I asked because I was about to say, are these cut-ins, us seeing this situation through Wayward Vagabond?
I know,
that
like,
doesn't make sense.
it swaps over to Wayward Vagabond when, like, it does the cookie bit. But I don't remember if it's, like, continuously Wayward Vagabond.
Yeah. Also, I found that the reference was that the yellow feather is Juve Squirt, which I initially read as June Squirt, and I was like, ah! But it wasn't even trans. Oh, this isn't a 20 level up system. I'm looking at it now. It's scrolled all the way down.
Oh boy.
That makes sense. Yeah, we see the echelon, and it's just one of those moments again where I'm like, wow, Homestuck just throws stupid words at you sometimes.
Oh yeah.
That mean nothing and clog up the brain space.
Oh yeah, definitely. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd be very interested in, like, a linguistic analysis of it. Because, like, there's definitely, like, it's doing that thing where, like, it's making fake words, but it's fake in a way that feels right.
It's a very video gamey. I mean, it's just like word salad. Like, tossing a bunch of words together, taking out good bits.
Yeah, I just... Taking a linguistics class has ruined everything for me.
Yeah. Every conversation is just ruined. That's what being deep into queer theory is for me, is just like, can't watch anything. Can't think about media. Just can't.
Yeah.
I started compiling, like, my personal critical analysis of Dark Souls with, like, a trans reading.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, it's so close.
Jenna?
Yeah,
Jenna,
yeah,
I'm putting my hand on your shoulder. Jenna?
I feel it.
Jenna, just...
You have a very sweaty palm, as usual.
Of course. Jenna, just enjoy your video game, my dude. Just enjoy the game. Just enjoy the game! Ah!
No!
You don't need to write a video essay!
I'm going to write 2 video essays on how the transness in Dark Souls is apparent. It is from the moment you boot up the game, because when
oh no! This is the video essay!
You can spend hours in the character creator figuring out what you look like, but the second you're dropped into the game, you're not allowed to see what you look like because you've gone hollow, which is when you die, you go hollow, right? And when you go hollow, you look different. Just like visually, you are different. And that is like the basis for like a trans narrative in it, is like the infinite struggle to be viewed in the way you want, combined with what if the thing that you actually want to be is this hollowness under you, which is the air, which is like considered taboo by the rest of the game. I would need to like think about it more, but that's like the basis of it. Anyway.
Oh god. What have I done?
Anyway, Rose does something with Jasper's. She like gets into the mausoleum, pushes Jasper's coffin over, and is like shit talking Jasper's like mentally in her head. And it's just like, fuck, Rose. I think she says something. This might be in a bit, but she says something that lets on about Jasper's early, something that we as the audience don't know. Something about how Jasper's is connected to everything. But we'll get there. John gets a bucket on his head. Due to I have a note here that says imp ingenuity. That's not true. Because it pans over and we see Nana Sprite in her full glory.
Oh my god.
And Nana Sprite did the water door slightly ajar to hold the water bucket up, and then the water bucket falls on you trick to John. I love Nana Sprite.
Oh, Nana Sprite.
Nana Sprite's so good.
Nana Sprite. I'd also like to note that John is really nonchalant about oh, it's Nana, my dead grandmother, who's talking to me now.
Oh yeah.
Which is every time I think oh, Jean's just the normal main character, but the thing is Jean's kind of consistently underreacts to everything in a weird way, you know?
Well,
or overreacts in a humorous way.
Psychoanalysis time. John, as a breath player, is so driven by singular goals that he is able to let these sorts of things just wash over him.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where, I feel if that happened to me, I'd be same, and that's a mood, but it's also, reality is unrealistic. If I saw it in a book, I'd be that character's underreacting. This is bad writing.
But, at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess my grandma's alive now.
Yep.
Now I have a note here. My next note is, that Rose is into puppet porn. We cut back to we cut back to a Rose-Dave conversation. And Rose is talking to Dave and is like, oh yes, I am aware of your brother's websites and I am quite fond of them.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm trying to not unpack that.
I'm out here to unpack that.
Oh, God.
We'll get there. I have a quote here that has both Rose and Dave in it that I would like to be read. Would you be able to do Dave if I send you the thing?
Sure.
All right. At this point, you're Dave, you know? You can do Jade for when we do Jade quotes. That's how we'll break it up.
You're John and Rose. I'm Dave and Jade.
Yes.
All right, I guess.
I will do Rose.
Also, you sent me 4 lines, which out of context, I think.
Yes. I mean, that's the whole quote that I wanted to read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At the end of the Dave and Rose conversation, Rose is like, I suspect he is preoccupied with the fact that he just had a bucket of water dumped on his head by the ghost of his dead grandmother, who also happens to be dressed like a clown.
All right, I'm out. Later.
Yeah. And it's just this beautiful moment of non-reactiveness.
Yep.
Not non-reactiveness, of just detailed explanation leading to non-explanation. That is exactly what happened to a T. It means nothing.
Yep.
So we get what the sprites do best. Exposition. Nana tells John that Dad was kidnapped by some imps, and that Dad is sort of in the Sithosphere. And she explains that the Insithosphere is this, like, paradoxical realm that is neither connected to the world of the game, nor was it created by the world of the game. It was... Ugh. It has... Sorry. I sneezed.
Bless you, bless you.
Thank you. It has sort of paradoxically, simultaneously always and never existed adjacent to our universe.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lot to think about. But it's also like, I'm pretty sure that if you just fly out in the Insithosphere for long enough, you'll find our world. Is that true?
I don't... Insithosphere is kind of some weird bullshit, is all I know about it, really.
Okay. So it's not actual space, it's space adjacent. It's like, it's parallel dimension, not just like space is big, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait. What's up with the Insithosphere again?
I think we'll get there.
Yeah, probably.
Alright. I think Nana Sprite says something about the Insithosphere in this. We'll get there. But we find here that, like, sprites have like a huge store of information, but are very reticent to give it out to the player. Nana Sprite understands Skaya and the Insithosphere in a way that is like you wouldn't be able to like just know that, but is also like not willing to explain it. Like in enough detail to actually be entirely useful.
Yeah, which is like, that's how video games and just stories in general work, so.
Oh, yeah. And she tells John that, like, the it was entirely dormant until John arrived. There's this really neat, like, GIF that it shows.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, series of GIFs where it correlates the Insithosphere and sort of the war that is being waged between the light and the dark as a chess battle that grows ever more complex. At first, it is just a 3x3, a 9-square grid with two kings, a white and a black king. That and sorry for the politics of color. The politics of color are complicated and negative in a very weird way. Yeah. But
I was just gonna say I liked it when like the Colonel sprite got sprited and like the little figures all had like little hats on.
Yeah, and so you see this king, the two kings on the chessboard. But then the like battlefield gets more complex with Nana Sprite's explanation, and we see this like more pieces show up on the board, and the board gets a little bigger, and all of the pieces on the board also get like little jester hats because John prototyped a jester. Yeah. And Nana Sprite explains. I'm gonna read this quote here. Talking about the Colonel Sprite, Nana says, "One goes down to a kingdom entrenched in darkness, the other up to a kingdom basked in light. Each comes to rest at an orb atop a spire, of which there are 3 others in kind. The 4 spires are situated above a throne, and these 2 thrones preside over the two respective sovereign powers. And once the kernels are situated, that is, when the game is afoot, the true war begins. Light versus dark, good versus evil. This is a war that the forces of light are always destined to lose, without exception." And then John's like, "Wow, really? Then what's the point?" And Nan Sprite says in response, "That remains for you to find out, dear. For you see, the journey you are about to take is the ultimate riddle." And, like, that sort of, like, encapsulates all of the explanation that we get for how Spurb works at this point. That there are two warring kingdoms, represented, like, by black and white, like, chess, that we can extrapolate from this that every time someone prototypes something, it's going to affect the denizens of the kingdoms. And that the white side is always destined to lose. The white pieces will never win the war. Yeah. And that it is the ultimate riddle. Whatever the fuck that means.
Yup.
Well, like, mechanically, she also tells John that he's gonna have to go up the gates, 7 gates, the first one which is directly above the house, and you have to get to it by building. Like, building up in the house using your build grist. The server player has to affect the client player's house. Which is an interesting, like, potentially is an interesting metaphor. That, like, you can't quest to the answer. That the only way to actually get there, like, that the way that a sprite will tell you to get there, a sprite which is sort of destined or designated by the game to explain things to you, tells you to build. That you have to do this, like, patient and careful act to progress.
Honestly, I kind of want to play Sburb.
Me too.
It sounds fun.
Sounds fun. It's like, I want a Minecraft mod.
Yeah, the other day, not the other day, this was like a while back actually, but I saw somewhere it was like a breaking down of, like, it has, like, Suburb has, like, it's got exploratory elements, it's got crafting, it's got really good co-op, like...
It's got incredible co-op.
And you, like, and it's, like, just breaking it down, it's, like, it's a lot of, like, got a lot of aspects of games that, like, all of different games together that, like, most games don't have all of those different parts, I guess, you know? It's, like,
engaging
I want to play Suburb. Ugh.
Because it's like, what if Minecraft, but you could go down to a town and get quests from villagers?
Yeah.
That, like,
well, you kind of can, yeah, but, like...
But you can't get quests from a villager.
Yeah, you can, well, if you want to buy things, you have to go on a quest to go get, like, I don't know, 30 pieces of chicken, but...
That's just trading. That's purchase. But, like, quests that build up to a really engaging story.
Yeah.
Of, like, personal growth.
Yep.
And crafting, like an interesting crafting system. Combat. Some of the best 3D combat you'll get at. 3D first-person action doesn't get better than this. Yeah. But it's weird because you couldn't do, like, a VR... I mean, you could.
It's also got, like, a class system that's very good.
A very interesting class system that determines not only power set, but also, like, story. Like, a mage will have a different progression than a different story progression than a knight. I can imagine, like, the E3 demo where, like, hi, I'm Todd Howard. This year, Bethesda brings you Spurb, the latest and greatest innovation in a long line of great games.
You know, if there was a company that came up with, like, a game that will, like, accidentally send meteors to end the fucking world, it would be Bethesda.
If you pre-order Spurb, You get 7 meteors sent directly to your house. You heard me right. Meteors. I'm doing a bad Todd Howard voice because I just don't know what Todd Howard sounds like.
Yeah, me neither, so I can't critique you either.
Yeah. I mean, he sounds like what Todd Howard sounds like, you know?
Yeah.
He's a real Todd. Back to Homestuck. Nana Sprite, after explaining all this, is like, I'm gonna bake you cookies. And John is like, Betty Crocker, the Batter Witch. I'll never eat
we
cookies.
love that. Mm-hmm.
And then Wayward Vagabond is like, you don't say no to cookies.
Which is like, honestly, same. Unless
Weird.
they're like a disgusting flavor.
Weird paradoxical thing is the only reason why Wayward Vagabond says that is because he had Nana's cookies.
Huh. I mean, I'm just not going to refuse cookies on principle, but
But like, I doubt that Carapacians have cookies, especially on Durst.
Mm.
And so, like, that might be, like, he's had cookies from Nana Sprite before, which is why he's like, they're the best. Of course you want cookies, John.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there.
I mean, I already told you about that time, like, some people were just having a picnic on the lawn. They're like, hey, come have a bagel. I was like, sure.
Yeah.
And I told my friend, and they were like, that was a random person. You just took the bagel?
I mean, what are you gonna do? Not take the bagel?
Exactly.
They were all nice and wearing the same color clothes, and they offered me Kool-Aid, but I decided I didn't want the Kool-Aid.
I mean, I got a free lunch out of it, so.
Yeah, I haven't felt weird since. Just, like, really sleepy. My stomach hurts it's weird. You're a fool. We got back to Rose, and Rose is, like, thinking to Jaspers.
Mm-hmm.
And is, like, says something that leads me to think that Rose understands that, like, due to time paradox bullshit, Jaspers is sort of the impetus for this whole thing. Does that make sense?
Oh, is it when she's like, heck, what was it? Like, she's like, this is all your fault, Jaspers, and it's like, even though it's definitely not at this point of time.
Yeah. She's like, I'm trying to find the quote. She's very explicit about, like, fucking Jaspers, it's all your fault. Oh, a thing that happened I forgot to make note of. Nana drops the bomb to John that the Earth is going to end. Again, like, this link of, like, Rose knowing more about the world than she lets on. Also, I found the quote. And then I accidentally hit the wrong button.
Nice.
Rose thinks, or at least is narrated to us, the last thing you need is sass from a dead cat. It's pretty much all his fault you're in this mess in the first place, so he can just button it. Which, like, spoilers for a thing that happens later, like, the thing that Jasper says to Rose, which is meow, is a part of the genetic code for Lord English.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
We love that. We love Godcat.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
I keep forgetting how interconnected everything is in Homestuck.
Nothing is... It's... Remember how I had that metaphor about moving gears? Like, Homestuck introduces moving pieces and never stops introducing moving pieces. And which is this interesting... it creates this interesting, like, notion of... A lot of this, like, aspect thing, like, is except for John, is really only visible with the full context of Homestuck. Like, I wonder if we're going to get, like, something that will explain, like, mind or doom even further.
Huh. Might be fun.
In Homestuck 2. I actually think that the people behind Homestuck 2 have said explicitly, like in an interview, that they are not going to explain those things, which hurts me deeply and personally. Because I would rather than speculate. Because the thing about speculation is also that it changes, which means that I couldn't. Well, it doesn't mean that I couldn't write an English essay on it, but that, like, I have to continuously, like, shuffle in and out my old work, basically, as someone who's deep in that scene, or who was, I guess, a long time ago. I got back into Homestuck and I was like, everything I knew is garbage. Not everything, but a bunch of key details.
I mean,
Yep.
I guess for me, like, I never delved deep into fan theories or fandom, so, like, yeah. And, like, when I do, it's like, this is my headcanon, and, like, as far as my own version of reality, this is the one I'm accepting.
Which fair, but, like, when you get really compelling evidence, like, then what?
Then you ignore it.
Wow. I guess.
Or just, like, accept that, like, well, like, canon and your canon don't have to be the same thing.
Valid, you know?
Yeah.
So, the next thing that happens is we cut back to Wayward Vagabond. We get a years in the future. And the thing that happens to Wayward Vagabond is that he, like, accidentally slips while typing. His finger slips while typing, and he unhits the caps lock button.
Which is great.
Which is exceptional, because it implies that he knows how to type, but not what caps lock does.
I mean...
But there's one gap in his knowledge, and it's capitalization. He also, like, a thing opens up behind him, which lets out a couple cans of beans and mustard.
Woot.
And a book on human etiquette, with a symbol on it, which I believe is from Problem Sleuth.
Dude, I used to have a book on, like, etiquette, and I, like, read part of it and then promptly forgot all of it.
I mean, who cares about etiquette? I've got my feet on the table all the time. Like some sort of motherfucker, I guess. I don't know.
Honestly, same, so.
Yeah. We cut back. We get more Rose walkthrough. I'm not going to read it because it's explanation.
Dense.
It's dense. It's also just, like, an interesting thing I just realized is that, like, it might be recognition from Hussey that the concepts of Homestuck are so confusing that we need multiple sources to understand, but not recognition that those sources need to give clear and concise information for anyone to understand what's happening.
I mean, I do like how it, like, further fleshes out Rhodes' character, though, like, as someone who, like, writes in purple prose all the time.
Purplest of prose, Quill. We cut back months in the past, but not many. And it's Rose's birthday. And I have a really good quote from Jade. Read it, Quill.
Yeah.
Jade, talking to Rose, says...
You see, not everybody always means the opposite of what they say the way you and Dave always do.
Which is just this, like... this is a conversation full of, like, cryptic Jade bullshit. Which is also a conversation that is basically a teardown of Rose's character. Which is very funny.
Yeah.
Jade is being very cryptic. She didn't get anything for Rose for her birthday. But she does tell Rose preemptively about Sburb. Conceptually.
Yeah.
which implies this like this idea that I had another idea while I was saying that, but I'm gonna finish this thought first. It implies that like Rose is the one who got everyone on board the Spurb train. Mm-hmm. Also, though, is Rose the biggest gamer of the beta kids?
I thought, hold on, I might need to reread that conversation because, like, the way I read it, it was like Jade was kind of the one who like first found it, and then like John and Dave were more into games.
Well, I mean, Jade was the one who first found it because of the Skya stuff.
Yeah.
Not like because she knew about games.
Oh yeah. Is Rose a gamer?
I think Rose might be a gamer.
Oh god.
Because Jade specifically gave that information not to Dave, but to Rose?
Huh. I mean, Dave is, like, into games, but in the, like, game bro, ironic, sort of weird skateboarding game kind of way.
Yeah. Rose is a gamer girl. Because she also knows enough about game facts that she knows how to instantly get a review up and, like, navigate the site very fluidly.
Alright, breakthrough of the episode, damn.
Rose is a gamer! Hold on, I need to write that down. That's the name of the episode. God damn. Rose is a gamer.
At this point, I think I'm halfway to becoming Rose, unfortunately.
Are you gamer?
Less so than y'all, but more so than regular people.
How many layers of irony are you on?
Like 0, probably -1.
Damn. I love you, Quill, but the two traits of Rose are gamer and irony.
That's true. I do crochet, though, so I'd like to say adjacent.
Your government-assigned kin is sadly not Rose.
Damn.
I'm like going through all of the Homestuck characters in my head. It's not Pfeffery, because that's soup. Is it Eradia?
Is it Eradia? It might be Eradia.
Eradia is an avid role player. Eradia is also dead and loves dead things. How do you feel about frogs, Quill?
I do like frogs. Shit. Oh no.
I could also see a case for Tavros. No, I couldn't. I was thinking about, like,
I don't think I'm that nice, man.
Yeah. You're not nice in the way... You're very distant in the way that Eradia is.
Yeah. Don't at me like this.
You're not enough of a... You might... No, you're not enough of a car cat. You're not enough of a hacksaw to be
This is the worst conversation I've had all week.
You're not a Vriska. You're not a Terezi. You're not a... you're not an Eridan. God, no, you're not an Eridan.
Thank God for that.
You're not a Gamzee. You're definitely not a Dave.
I don't have nearly enough layers of irony.
No. How do you feel about gardening?
I like gardening, but I don't know if I'm any good at it, so...
Uh-huh. Well, it might be Eradia. We might have figured it out first try. Government assigned kin to Eradia.
I'm gonna leave now.
Okay, bye.
Wait,
Check
hold
on
up.
the flip side. Yeah?
Possibly off podcast question, but who would Manuel be?
Well, he commented on our video and said mean things about me, so I get to talk shit about him in the episode.
He did?
Yes, he did. He said nice things about you, but he was mean to me.
Oh Wait, now you have to show me the comment.
You know how to look at YouTube.
No, I don't.
That's your own video. I sent you a link. Come on.
I never look at the links. I hate hearing my own voice, man.
Me too, but that's how I find the comments. Manuel is no.
He does have that chaoticness.
He's pre-sober Gamzee.
Yeah.
He might be a Jake. I think he's a Jake.
Shit.
Which is the meanest thing I've ever said to anybody in my life.
Oh my god. Alright, we're really raking Manuel over the coals here.
Yeah. Is Caleb a car cat? He might be a Dave.
I feel like Caleb's
I think he's either a Dave or a car cat. He might be a John. No, too positive, too negative to be a John. Nothing against Caleb, he's just...
I can kind of see him as a John, though, like, negativity aside, you know, that sort of Johnness.
Yeah, there's a lot of Johnness. But there's also, I feel like there's enough Dave-ness that he might just be a Dave.
I don't know how many layers of irony Caleb's on those things, though.
He wears a fanny pack consistently, and I can't tell if it's genuine or not. He wears his hair, sometimes he has a front... He told me that he wears a front ponytail to school.
Huh.
And I don't... No, here's why he's not a Dave, because a Dave has to be cool. We
have to cut this out of the podcast.
No, I'm leaving this in. They don't listen.
God.
I want everyone to know. If you want to know about these people, listen to our other podcast and give me motivation to potentially ever finish editing it. Quest aside.
Oh, God.
Back on topic, though. Back in the present, Dave acquires his katana, and he looks out at the crow, but also at the dense urban environment that he lives in. He lives in this just like massive urban sprawl, which is backlit by meteors, and he looks up into the sky and sees the red hellishness that surrounds him.
I do remember, like, seeing the way they draw, like, the sun the first time, and it's like, ugh.
I don't think that's the sun. I think
it might be a meteor, actually.
Yeah, I think it's the sky opening up with meteors.
Ugh, mood. Midterm mood.
God, I wish. And again, as Dave explores his house to find his bro's copy of Spurb, I must further question the genuineness of adults in Homestuck. Is bro actually ironic, or just a shitty parental unit who also makes puppet porn?
I'm generally leaning towards the latter. I think he thinks he's the former, but, like, I think he's the latter.
But then we must also factor Dirk into this, of, like... I think that Dirk is ironic on purpose. But like, what I mean by genuineness and questioning the genuineness of an adult is that, like, we know that Dave's understanding of bro is this total ironic facade, and that everything is a joke. But does he think that anything he does is a joke, or is ironic, or is he dead ass 100% of the time?
I think this is one of those things of, like, you know that, like... Actually, I don't think this is a saying. I think this is just something someone said to me once. I remember it.
That's
it's
fair.
like, if you break a plate on accident versus, like, if you break a plate on purpose, like, either way, that plate's broken, and it's your fucking fault.
That's true. Is Dave the plate?
I think so. Like, I don't know what, like, Dirk thinks of it, but, like, in the end, the result is kind of the same, you know?
Yeah. That what he does for a living is make puppet porn.
Yeah, that's
and
like,
is
that's
a
just...
shitty parent.
Yeah, that plate is just broken.
Weird thing, also, is that, like, while the other Guardians took to their role as a parental unit, as an explicitly parental unit, Bro was out there like, nah, I'm his brother. I could never see myself being a dad.
Damn, you're right.
Always am.
Ugh. Damn.
The further...
real.
I've been thinking about my government-assigned kin this whole time, and it's either... at this point, it's either Rose, Kanaya, or Vriska. And the Kanaya is just me really not wanting to be a Vriska. Not that I don't want to be a Vriska, but just that I feel like being a Vriska means something. And I feel like I'm not ready to live up to it.
Something,
But that just might mean that I'm a
something, something.
Trans lesbian, something. You know what it is. Cal is fucking weird looking, and I hate to see it.
Yeah.
Cal's gross and weird, and I don't like to look at his stupid face.
Yeah, like... Yeah. I remember seeing Cal and being like, that's fucked up.
Like, the other puppets are just pictures of puppets, but Cal is designed in a way that makes him unnerving.
Yeah. I think it is the eyes, like, you know, the thing with the eyes.
Yeah. It's very Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, or, like, Hey, pro tip for any people who draw out there, if you ever need to make a face creepy, just make the eyes perfectly circle, like irises, like perfectly centered circle, pupils perfectly centered circle inside that, and that's just automatically creepy, low effort kind of thing.
Huh.
And like Cal has that, yeah. I don't know why that's a thing, but like,
I think it's because it's inhuman in such a way that it is attempting to reference humanity.
Yeah. It's also like, if you do that, like, it'll be staring at you, kind of, no matter what kind of thing. No matter what angle you're going at it from.
Hate to think about it. Do we ever see Cal from an angle where we can see his eyes and he is not staring at the screen?
I think, like, explicitly no. That's never happened.
Ugh.
And part of it is, like, if you draw, like, the eyes looking straight ahead, like, just, like, some weird perspective thing, it just will always be looking at you no matter what angle, like, you're approaching the picture from.
Yeah, because it doesn't have any depth.
Yeah.
And so, like, at any angle, it is still just facing forward. That was the way it was explained to me. Anyhow, Dave tries to go into Bro's computer. We see that Bro's computer is password protected. Note for you and I, do we actually know that password?
I explicitly looked at it, and it didn't. I don't think so. I didn't Google it, but like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hypothetically we could figure it out. It's X number of characters long, like we know how long it is, and like, it might be little Cal.
Shit.
Dave, of course, knows the password, because he and his bro are cool like that. He also has a cool background. It's less of a, like, it's more abstract than Dave's, and not more abstract. It's less abstract in that there are, like, beings present in it, but it's more abstract in that I don't know what it is. That I don't know what it's actually showing us, but there are bodies in it.
Hold on. I didn't look at it too carefully. Can you send me a picture?
You can find it.
I'm asking you to send a picture specifically because I do not know what to Google. Actually, if I just do Homestuck Bros background? No, that's gone. Nope, I don't think that'll give me what I want.
No, it gives you a bro background, huh?
Yeah. Nah, that's for Cam, not me.
Yeah.
Hold on. Homestuck Wiki. Don't let me down now.
I mean, I'll find it for you. Give me a second. impatient bastard.
That's good, I got it. Homestuck Wiki did not let me down.
God, I see what you mean. Because while I was looking for that, I found a picture of little Cal.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he is explicitly not facing towards the screen, his eyes are perfect circles.
Yep. They actually, like... There's a version of the trick where, like, you like, cut out the eye holes and then, like, you put pupils, like, on a second piece of paper that's slightly further than back, then, like, it's very... And then if you put that, like, somewhere slightly far away, the eyes are very explicitly following you as you move around the room without, like, having to animate anything. I learned that while I was in Las Vegas, while staring at a statue that stared back at me.
Gross. So we see Bro's background, on which he has 6 new folders,
Mood,
two of which are attached to the taskbar, and those might just be 2 different new folders.
Mm-hmm.
He has a program named Delirious Biz Nasty.
Wait, isn't that the one that Betty Crocker is on?
I don't know. No, because Betty Crocker's one is it's branded for Crocker.
All right. Mm-hmm.
He also has the same complete bullshit app that Dave does.
I kind of want that app, honestly.
Yeah. I believe we erroneously last episode called it a folder. It is an application. And then I hate this background. I hate it. Not the picture. I just hate all of this new folder. They're arranged in such a way that it wasn't just like he generated a couple new folders. He, like, layered them shittily on purpose.
I do like... Oh, is that Square bot in the background?
Squarewave or whatever?
Yeah, Squarewave. In the left, you can kind of see his speakers.
Not really.
Yeah, it's some kind of person.
I think it's just some cool art.
Yeah.
It's vaguely Squarewave, but that's just because Squarewave is a very
It's a square,
generic look.
yeah.
Yeah. But I fucking hate it. And that's the facts, folks.
Yeah, what's that? Like, if you parody something, but, like, very subtly, then you become the exact same as the thing you're parodying.
Yep. And it's bad. I hate it. And then the next page, he opens up Complete Bullshit, and it's Complete Bullshit is out here to give me a fucking stroke.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
And I think the reason why it's so short is because it wants us to, like, read some of the spahj stuff.
I don't want to.
I don't know that I want to, but I think it would be very funny.
I don't. I think it would be suffering.
Hey, Quill. Sometimes you gotta suffer for your art.
I think I'm suffering for your art right now, actually.
I think that this is collaborative art. And we're suffering together. And that's it. Like, that's the end of this section.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, I do like the, You know how everyone has, like, a little, not quite a title card thing, but it's, like... It's always something like, today's gonna be a long day, and, like, there's a music metaphor and a misattributed quote.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think I messaged you one of those.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I meant to ask you to read it.
Oh, boy. Maybe I should have brought this up.
Oh, yeah. This is... Dave says this after looking out over the meteor showers. Or at least the narrator who's talking for Dave says it. If you could just... I'll pin it in our chat.
God damn it.
If you could just... if you could give that a little read.
I've created my own doom.
You could have just dodged that bullet. You could have matrix dodged the whole situation.
I could have.
Yeah.
Why did I have to make that note? Anyways, you don't even know what's up with this sick heat. The sun threatens to set but won't step off, staring you down like the big red eye of a hot needle skipping on a groove it's tracing round the earth. While lingering in midair, its heat seems to suspend time itself, stretching it like warped vinyl. It's meant to rain this season, but there hasn't been a drop in sight. Even a little drizzle would help. Might help to fizzle this sizzle a little bizzle, set the record straight on this global turn tizzle. So don't change the dizzle, turn it up a little. I got a living room full of the fine dime brizzles, waiting on the pizzle, the tizzle, and the shizzle. G's to the bizac, now ladies, here we gizzo. When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. English romantic poet, John Keats.
And that is a misattributed quote that should be attributed to Snoop Dogg.
I have no predilection for any sort of word play or shenaniganry.
The thing is, you have to read it, because if I try to read it, I'll stumble over the words. Because it's this particular sort of like confusing language that trips me up very much.
I read too much to be tripped up by big words nowadays, but I'm still not good at talking.
I'm not tripped up by big words. I'm tripped up by confusing collections of small words.
I think I just read too much, and now like I have like +3 immunity to wordplay.
Damn. Can I tell you my favorite genre of music that this has reminded me of? Not my favorite genre of music, but one that I wish there was enough of for me to even think it was a good genre.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to bear with me this whole time.
That's a great start.
So like anime intros, but with hard rap lyrics. I'm specifically here thinking about like those like meme anime, like those meme things on YouTube where it's the anime intro, but it's got like the layering of it's layered with Snoop Dogg's with Snoop Dogg talking about weed. I think it's this very funny blend of like very upbeat and hard rap, which is like, you okay, Phil? Yeah, and that's sort of one of my personal favorites.
Send me a song, I guess. I'll like see if I can.
My whole playlist.
No.
Don't worry.
Oh God.
I'll show you my mixtape.
Please no.
It's like this and like that and like this and it's like this and like that and like this and it's like this and like that and like.
I'm sad.
Alrighty. God, I'm like trying to think of like there wasn't anything that happened that I could be like. We haven't gotten any questions this week because of a late upload.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that no one was able to send us in questions before we recorded. And so we don't have anything. But I also think that, like, even though it was a short episode, I think we talked a lot of bullshit in the middle there.
Mm-hmm.
Any other any other notes here, I guess?
Not much. I mean, it is fun seeing the difference between podcast and radio show now that I have experience in both.
Yeah, tell me about that. So how's the radio show? I don't think we've actually had that on air. Tell me about the radio show.
Oh, really? Let's see. Radio show's going all right. It's like it's surprisingly different from being a podcast, considering both of them you're just BSing into a mic, you know?
Uh-huh.
But like one of them you can't curse and like play weird music, and the other one you can curse a lot, and also you can like edit things later, and that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's the difference between, like, live and not live. I feel like I would swear less in live because I would feel pressure that I wouldn't be able to change it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and yet somehow both of them have that sort of slapstick, we have no idea what we're doing kind of vibe to it, so.
I mean, that might just be because you and Ryan have no idea.
Oh, don't add us like this.
What's the name of the show?
Spotlight.
At Spotlight, y'all got no fucking clue what you're doing.
I mean, yeah. It's a lot of, like, I don't know, Ryan's doing most of the Ryan's doing, like, all of the talking, and the one episode where I did, like, any substantial talking is the one episode we lost completely, so, void
Rip
player, I guess.
Episode. Void player things. Hey.
But yeah, and so then, like, we just keep on getting people canceling on our show, and, like...
Have you had a single person...
Our very first person who had a phone interview was like, that was good. And then the second episode, the two people canceled 30 minutes before the show, and so of course we couldn't find anyone else in time. And then the third episode, because people were canceling, Ryan's like, all right, I'm going to keep finding people. And then, like, I think a total of, like, 5 people, and all of them canceled or dropped or, like, had to move it back in some form or another. And so I ended up just finding, like, this random dude on the second floor playing guitar, and I was like, hey, you want to be on radio?
Uh-huh.
And then, like, he turned out to be super good with, like, really good songs that he wrote, and I was like, okay, cool.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah. And so now we're like, and then we had another, like, pre-recorded session from someone, which is why I was so panicky about the audio earlier this week.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it worked out, and so now, like...
Can you just, like, upload something and be like, play this at 7 to a radio thing?
Well, you can't upload it, however, you can, like, record it, get it into Audacity, make it an MP3, and then, like, we plan to burn it on a CD, and then we play it through a CD player, but our CD burner has been fighting us for 2 weeks now. And so we did just turn the speaker up on the laptop and play it at the mic. We're professionals here.
Wow. Okay.
You see what I mean about the don't know what we're doing?
You don't know what you're doing. Tragic, really. God. I think that this might be our show.
Thank goodness.
Unless if you think there's anything else that's worth talking about. Oh, by the way, I looked it up because I was worried that was actually a perfect attribution to Snoop Dogg. It wasn't. The quote was attributed to John Keats, who was a poet who was always depicted gently resting his head on his hand, looking wistfully into the distance like some sort of fucking bitch. Meanwhile, Snoop Dogg's full name is Calvin Cordozar Brodeus Jr., which is a good fucking name.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Cordozar Brodeus Jr.
Yeah, pretty good name.
And he goes by Snoop Dogg. This man lives the best life in the world, possibly. I think that's our show. I don't think we have more. I don't think we have more than that. God, wait, no, Snoop Dogg talk. Snoop Dogg's a grandfather. Snoop Dogg is a grandfather.
Can we please stop the show?
No, Snoop Dogg has a Tumblr. Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Snoop Dogg has a Tumblr. What the fuck? It's just like I don't think he's uploaded anything since like 2017.
I don't know if that makes this better or worse.
He's got Snoop Dogg on Tumblr, so
I mean, I guess.
I guess. I mean, I guess.
I guess.
That's been our show, folks. If you wanna leave us any errata for anything that we've messed up for the entire run of the show, like corrections, leave those in the comments. Wait, I'm actually gonna check something real fast before we end this video. I'm gonna see if any of our older videos have new comments on them. I don't think they do, but I just wanna check. Yeah, no, okay. Alright. That's our show, folks. If you want to leave us any errata, anything we've gotten wrong with the entire run of the show, you can leave that in the comments.
Oh god, please let me be free.
If you want to leave us a question that we will, like a discussion point, that could be like an interesting metaphysical question. That could be hey, and could you both, as smart people, analyze this like piece of Homestuck?
As smart people, you sure?
Despite all evidence to the contrary, I do think we are rather intelligent.
I'm not sure if I agree with this, but okay.
I think it is. If you want to leave a... if you want to like and subscribe, that'd be cool. Ring the bell, I guess. Well, I'm gonna see about getting us onto into your podcatcher of choice, so you don't have to listen to us through YouTube anymore. Because I understand, as someone who listens to a lot of podcasts, YouTube is like the least ideal place in the world to get podcasts from. I'll put a link to Snoop Dogg's Tumblr in the description as well.
Oh gosh.
That's been our show. I'm Jenna Lacombe. Did you say your name, Quill?
No.
That's Quill saying. You're only the real G if you listen to the end of the show. Bye!